All right, so Jill here wants some answers. We've all been here where you're so excited because the first date goes so well. The chemistry is there. There's electricity. And you can't wait to see them again, right? And this guy, no show. And she can't figure out why. So we had Tommy reach out to him to get some answers, which we got for her today. Hey, Jill.
Hey.
All right, so tell us about this guy who's so funny and how disappointed you've been that he hasn't hit you back.
Okay, so it was about 2 weeks ago. He came into my work with a friend, but it was like the end of my shift, so I was at the bar. You know, you kind of get your shift drink there at the end of the shift. And we were just talking and chit-chatting, and, you know, we really hit it off, and I was like, oh, he's cute. And I kind of wanted him to ask me out. So the next night he came in, and I was like, oh, he's going to ask me out. Like, he didn't come in with a friend. He was all alone. And sure enough, he asked me out. Like, he didn't even wait for it. There was not a lot of build-up. He was like, hey, girl, let's do this. And I was like, yes, because I was thinking about him too, you know. So I was like, okay, we're on the same wavelength here. Like, we like each other. And, you know, so I looked at my schedule, and the very first night that I had off, we went out. Like, we didn't wait for it. It wasn't like 2 weeks later or a week later or anything. Like, we went for it. We had the best date, like one of the best dates I've ever been on. He is hilarious. Like, there weren't any awkward silences. There were never any, like, weird moments. It was perfect. Mm-hmm. I know that sounds crazy, but it was, like, a really good date. He, like, walked into my car, and we did kiss. And then, nothing. No text, no call, nothing. And I usually would, I mean, I'm not going to reach out to him. I've been playing it cool, but, like, I've been playing it too cool.
There's no way, I mean, because the obvious answer here, but there's no way that first kiss could have been so bad that it would have more value than the hours that you guys hung out. So I almost got to eliminate that. Mo, have you ever kissed somebody that was so bad where you're like, oh, no, we just had a great time, but that's not going to work?
Nah, I can't say that I've ever had a kiss that was that bad. And for the fact that he kissed you at the end of the date, that normally would insinuate that the date went well. So, nah, I'm thoroughly confused right here.
Have you ever kissed anybody that was so bad that you wouldn't even entertain the idea of a second date, even though the whole first date went great?
Yeah, I sure did.
Really?
Yeah, the kiss was awful. Yes, he did like a washing machine thing in my mouth with his tongue. It was awful. Don't ever do that.
You did not?
Okay, good.
Okay.
Are you sure you didn't do that?
You did. Yeah, no fancy tricks, just normal.
I didn't pull out anything. I just went, standard kiss.
Okay. All right.
Maybe that was the problem.
Yeah, maybe he's looking
he
for
wanted the washing machine.
All right, so let's eliminate that one. So after that, there's just nothing, and you've dug in also. So you're not going to text him until he texts me, and there's just been nothing at all?
Nothing. Now I am at my wit thing, because now I just want to know. I'm like, what was it? What was it? Because to be honest, y'all, I spent the whole time laughing. So I wasn't, telling any kind of uncomfortable stories about myself or my family for him to get any kind of, like, red flags. Like, he was putting on the show, and I was being a very, receptive audience. So I'm thinking, what's not to like about that, Is there any chance that he's doing the same thing you're doing, though? Like, you guys have this great date, and he's waiting for the first text to say, hey, let's do this again. You're waiting for the first text, and you guys still like each other, but you're both insecure about it? I mean, there's always that chance, but I don't know. I felt like the ball was in his court.
It is.
Is it?
It is and it isn't.
Wait. The responsibility of the first text is on the dude?
I don't think so.
I don't know if it's the responsibility, but I definitely think it's the expectation. I think a lot of women go out on a date, and if they had a really good date, they kind of, wait for the guy to hit him with the, I can't wait to see you next time, or I had a good time. And if you don't get that, then you feel some way.
Dobby?
I usually am like, hey, I had a good time, you know, like a day or so later. Like, that was fun. I don't like, I think it's more rude for it to stay quiet, and I don't want to have that expectation on men, so I've always been that person.
Certainly if he's excited about it, she's going to say something like, hey, had a great time, can't wait to see you again. Something. All right, well, Tommy, our studio director, reached out to the dude. He reached back, and he was really brutally honest, so we know why there's not going to be a second date. There will not be a second date, and you're not going to be real happy with the results. I can promise you that. So Jill wanted us to do some research for her, which we did, and she's been dying to know why this dude hasn't asked her out again. The short version here, and we're going to read his response to her. Jill, let me just make sure I got this right. You guys go out. You have a great time. The dude is cracking you up. He's great. You can't wait for the second date. Was it so good that you made that almost embarrassing call to somebody and said, oh my God, I just met my future husband?
I mean, I made an embarrassing call to you guys.
Okay. That's embarrassing enough, yeah.
Is that not enough?
Yeah, that's plenty. All right, so she says she goes out with this guy, and the chemistry was great. They have themselves a little kissy at the end of the date, and she thought, okay, that's cool. And she was expecting this guy to hit her up, like, the next day and just say, hey, had a great time, or try to set something up. I guess, Jill, you're a little on the old-fashioned side, like old-fashioned, like dating back to 2016, when and you don't want to send him the first text back to say, hey, I had a great time, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, he came in hot, so I just kind of figured he would bring that energy again.
Okay.
That's fair.
And he hasn't, and you have been really disappointed about that, so you're just kind of like curious that there should have been a second date, and he hasn't hit you at all. So we reached out to this guy, and I told you we got a response that you're not going to like. And I can tell you that one of the sentences here is, I never should have gone out with her in the first place. All right.
What?
Yeah, I should have never gone out with her in the first place. Davi, you got the rest of the email?
Yep, here's David's response. Well, I'm not exactly sure how to say this without seeming like a total D. I did have a great time with her. If things were different for me, I'd go out with her again in an instant. However, I never should have asked her out in the first place. I really only went out with her to test myself. I needed to test my feelings for my girlfriend. Obviously, I didn't tell her I had a girlfriend. My girlfriend and I have been in a bit of a rough patch. I've been thinking about breaking up with her, but I didn't want to do something I'd regret. I needed to see if going out with someone else would make me realize I was ready to leave her. As great as Jill was, she wasn't my girlfriend. Going out with someone else made me realize that ending things with my girlfriend is not something I want to do. So I apologize for not being honest or potentially leading her on.
That's where it ends, Jill. So what do you think?
I mean, let me take my jaw up off the floor because what?
Yeah, I mean, essentially he was cheating. So you were the
rude.
Right, it is rude. You were the test case. So he and his girlfriend going through a tough time right now. He finds you attractive. He's like, all right, let me see what's out there. You guys go out, and even though you were great, he was missing on his girlfriend. So that's why there's been no second date.
Okay, so there's just like really, I mean, I feel like there's landmine boys out there. Like, you can't trust anybody.
Yeah.
He not only cheated on his girlfriend, but he totally used me. And for the past 2 weeks, I've been like stressing about this, when in reality, he's just a jerk.
Well, let's look at it a different way.
No.
Yeah. How? Yes.
What way?
Yes. We're going to look at this more globally, Jill. Jill, do you believe in love?
I don't know anymore.
Okay. You didn't answer.
It wasn't really the greatest question out the gate for this one,
We broke her. We broke Jill.
Because Jill was going to be the agent for these two to still be together while you were the sacrificial lamb, and I know it hurts. At least you set up love for somebody else. That's the best I can do. I don't even feel that.
That's not good.
That's nasty.
Yeah, that's all I got. I'm trying to find the silver lining. Yeah, you were used. He's a D-bag.
He is, and I'm broken for you, Jill. I mean, for him, at least he apologized. There is that. Like, at least he literally said, I apologize for not being honest. But he's not being honest with his girlfriend. His girlfriend doesn't know. And then he said, I apologize for...
He gets no credit for apologizing because he didn't apologize until we hit him up.
I know. And then he says, and I apologize for potentially leading her on. What do you mean potentially? That's exactly what you did. Like, hammer on the nail. Like, that is exactly what he did. So it's not a potential. He led her on, he used her, and he's lying to his girlfriend.
Well,
listen, it's all bad. There's nothing good about this guy, but that's the actual good in it, is that he could have continued to lie and continued to string you along. At least you can cut ties. You are done. Yeah. You got your closure. You know what it is, and you can move on. That's the silver lining in it all.
Thank you, Mo.
You're welcome.
But should we make it worse? Should she tell the girlfriend?
Yes.
No, don't do.
Is it up to her to let the girlfriend know that he was using another woman, a fellow woman, as a test to see if he still wanted to stay with her or not?
I am not putting that karma into the world. I am not going to be the one, Cassie.
Look, I cannot believe I'm about to do this, but I don't think you tell. Because this dude was a douche. He made a mistake. He did not treat you right, and I fully, I get you, I'm team you on this. But sometimes people have doubts in their relationships. He did not handle this the right way. But he was trying to figure out how he really felt. This is between him and his girlfriend. I think you let this one go. Like, it's weird, it's an outlier, but he was just trying to figure out how he felt, and unfortunately, he went about it the absolute wrong way. But I don't think that he is a sleazy D-bag, just a D-bag.
Mo's shaking his head. No. What?
Nah. Normally, I would be with Cass on this one, but the way he used her and went about it and couldn't even reach out to her to tell her what was going on. If you want to tell his girlfriend, I am not going to stop you. Not in this case. Matter of fact, I'm going to encourage you. Tell her.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm going to encourage you to send him a Venmo request today because he needed to sort out his thoughts and he used you for that. Some people pay a therapist like $150 an hour. So I say you Venmo request $150 for him or maybe more. I don't know how long the date was for all those laughs you had to give him to appease his tiny, fragile man masculinity.
Look, you thought that it has nothing to do. This could have gone out so much longer. He could have been really, really awful about it. Then I would say, yes, definitely call her. It's one date. I don't think that you need to rock the whole thing. That I wouldn't put that into the universe. That's all I'm saying. That's your call.
Okay.
All right. We'll let you go. You got the info, and now you got a real reason to text them first.
Thanks, y'all.
All right. See ya. Bye,
Good
Jill.
luck, Jill.
Bye. Guy is a D-bag.
You're on The Bert Show.